This is News Desk and you're welcome. Now, the National Pensions Regulatory Authority has said that workers' contributions to the second-tier pension fund account currently stands at 1.64 billion Ghana cedis. Management of the fund is at the heart of a strike by public sector workers that has badly affected the operation of public schools and hospitals. Acting NPRA Chief Executive Lord Senanu assured all workers at a news conference Thursday the funds accumulated in the temporary pension fund account with the Bank of Ghana will be released to the various fund managers before the end of the year.
In the first case, you see, the reason why we have been silent on this matter is the fact that, as you have rightly summarized, we are a regulatory authority. So our role in these matters must be that of an arbiter. We don't have to be seen as taking sides in a matter between two groups of persons. You know, for instance, where one of the parties decide to make a complaint to the Labour Commission, to the extent that it's a matter related to pensions and all that, the Labour Commission will obviously invite us to seek our opinion on the matter. Okay? If one of the sides decides to go to court, as government have done, it's likely the court might subpoena NPRA to come and give or assist the court in understanding some of the issues involved. But given the environment in which we operate, if you come out and make a statement, it would play out in the public domain as if you are siding with one party. And when you do that, then you lose the moral authority, you know, to be heard and seen as a neutral player. You understand what I mean? That is why we are cautious not to talk about that particular issue of who has the right or who doesn't have the right. But to the extent that in the course of the public discourse, issues have come up like the TPFA, and where statements are being made which we felt are misleading. That is why we decided to hold this press conference, you know, to give you a report on the TPFA. Contributions from SSNIT relating to the private sector totals 488,768,270.73. And the contributions received from Controller and Accountant General's Department in respect of public sector totals 521,885,987.36. Now, as I told you, all these monies have been invested in treasury bills and bonds. So as of October 27, 2014, the total balance on account and in investment holdings is 1,641,117,027.70. That is the total amount that is in the account at the Bank of Ghana as of 27th October 2014. I have with me here the report from the Bank of Ghana signed by the head of Treasury Department, which gives the details of all the contributions that have been made as at 27th October. You know, as and when contributions are paid into the account, treasury bills are purchased, you know, for the contributions to earn the appropriate returns. Of TPFA funds. An audit of the TPA funds was commenced in April 2014 and is being undertaken by Messiers PwC, that is PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's an international audit firm. They will audit the TPFA, or they have been auditing the TPFA, and also reconciling information provided by employers to enable the generation of statements to members or contributors to the scheme. At the end of the audit exercise, we should be able to tell how much each contributor to the fund has in terms of contributions plus the investment returns. So that is the exercise that is being conducted by the auditors, Messiers PwC. They are due to submit their final report by Friday, 31st October, which is tomorrow.
Right, so today we expect to hear a bit more about this 1.64 billion that has accrued as a result of payment of the Tier 2 pension fund into the Tier 2 pension into the TPA, that's the temporary pension account with the Bank of Ghana. But, well, he says that we should give time. They will dissect this, and then we'll get to know what is due each and every worker who's been paying since 2010. Now, the question is it for public sector workers or private sector workers? We should find that out in the course of the program. By now, we have Ernest Opoku. Ernest Opoku is president of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers. You recall that the coalition is one of the labor unions that is on strike due to government's inability to allow them manage their own Tier 2 pension fund. Ernest,
yeah,
I'm glad you could join us. I know you do not have too much time, but I'm glad you could join us. Now the NPRA tells us that your monies are indeed available. In fact, they were invested in treasury bills, and we have about 1.64 billion to calculate each and every worker's contribution form. Does it settle your matter?
That is quite surprising. So where was NPRA when the Hula Balu started? It's quite surprising because yesterday, the meeting between the labor union and that of government, NPRA boss was there. He didn't tell us anything with respect to the figures that he came up with. It was so surprising that after the meeting, when we left the meeting ground, he had a press conference and then gave us some figures. And so the issue is, if government is indeed serious, that we should sit down and settle the matter. Why would NPRA refuse to give out the figures at a meeting where the labor unions were all around? He's my very good friend, the NPRA boss. He was also there. It's quite surprising. However, let me say that yesterday at the meeting, the Minister of Employment and Labor Relations wanted us to form a working committee and give the working committee 1 month, within which the committee can come out with final decision, and that can be used as a decision that can go to court for all the parties to adhere to. But we told the minister that we can't allow it because, one, the committees have been, we formed several committees. In any case, there was a presidential committee that the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, formed, and that committee had representation from NPRA and the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations. And they came out with their recommendations. And we have a copy of their recommendations. Unfortunately, I am about to enter Ministry of Finance for another meeting. We have a meeting with the minister. After the meeting, I'll pass by and give you a copy of the recommendations by the Presidential Committee. So why is it that the minister is not ready to implement the recommendations? They rather want us to form another committee. So that was rejected.
You
what
think
we are saying is that NPRA knows. They have all the information. It's so surprising that NPRA has been quiet ever since. And let me also
the reason
these four schemes that we have registered, it was licensed by NPRA according to the New Pension Act. And so it's so surprising that government position has also changed, and government is bent on doing what government wants to do, and NPRA happens to be the regulatory agency, and it's quiet.
The NPRA's excuse is the fact that it had to wait for tensions to die down a bit, so it won't come across as though it's taken a side. Is it that you don't trust the NPA and the figures they have come up with?
Well, the issue is not about whether we trust NPRA and the figures. The issue is that we were all at a meeting yesterday, and NPRA boss was there, and if indeed he had the figures, why didn't he table the figures before us at the meeting? Then he decided to go to the public domain, have a press conference after the meeting, and then bring some figures out. As to whether the figures are authentic or not, that's one I can't tell. So the issue here is that, you see, government indicated to us that they will withdraw the court case only if we are ready to change our decision and then call off the strike. But we also indicated to government that we are surprised that government want to take the matter from. In any case, we have also asked our council to file an appearance so that we can go and defend the issue and counterfeit government.
But Ernest, what difference does it make whether the NPRA told you at that meeting or it held a press conference to make? The most important thing is the money is available. Then we can move to the second concern of allowing the various unions manage their own pensions.
Fantastic. You have said it all. The most important thing is the money is available. Then release the money. After 90 days of the registration of the scheme, the money has to be released into the various occupational scheme accounts.
That's true.
So why is government still holding on to the money? So far as the money is there, release the money. What we are saying is that, yes, if the money is there, they have given account of the money, fine, we don't have any problem. All that we want is that government should allow the schemes to run. And government should release the money into the various occupational pension scheme accounts, period. And that is all. But yesterday, government position was that they still want to have a master trust account, master trust scheme, where one scheme will take care of all public sector workers, just like the way SNIT is running. And we are not happy. My dear, the bone of contention is that we don't want one scheme, just like the way SNIT is managing the tier one. It's as simple as ABC.
I see.
If NPRS is saying that the money is there, all that we want is that remit the money into the various occupational pension scheme accounts. And that solves the problem. Then we'll call off the strike, we'll go make amends, go and work. It's as simple as ABC.
I see. Ernest, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much for your time. Ernest Opoku is president for the Coalition of Concerned Teachers. Stephen Kokwe is chairman of the Government Hospital Pharmacists Association of Ghana. He's joined in the conversation. Stephen.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me here.
Thank you for also to your viewers who are listening to us.
Would you call off your strike now that, well, your Tier 2 pension scheme is indeed available and has accrued some interest for you?
In the first place, what is it talking about? Is it talking about the issues that we have brought before government has all been addressed? The NPRA is just releasing an amount. Even we don't know what amount is it. We are not privy to the document. We have not even critiqued it to find out whether all those deductions that were made in 2010 and whether it has been invested very well. We are not privy to all those information. In the second place, I think I heard my other colleagues talking about the fact that, look, NPRA is the regulatory body. They have registered these 4 schemes according to the law. They are supposed to operate or be operational when the funds are released into the custodian's account. Why is government delaying that particular process? And government is saying that it only will allow the release into one trustee. This trustee, we are not even, we don't know how this trustee was formed. We, all the other labor unions who have formed our schemes are not privy to this trustee. Government want to run another SNIT? I don't think it is fair. This is a second tier and it's supposed to be run privately. And we think that the earlier government releases the funds for us to make sure that come January 1st, most of our members who will be retiring will get the benefit of their second tier pension.
So what would you prefer the NPRA does now that it's mentioned this 1.64 billion Ghana cedis as being was accrued in the TPA?
Yes, this 1.6 billion, as I said earlier, this 1.6 billion Ghana cedis, how it should be accounted for, and what there should be an itemized bill, which things are accounted for this particular, which amount goes to. We have 4 schemes, or those details are not available. In any case, as we said, is this 1.4 billion has it been properly invested, so that we can say that come 1st January 2015, our members who have their contribution have been accrued since 2010 have been given a proper investment so that they can enjoy the pension of the second tier. These are all questions that have not been answered. And if these monies are released, if they are released to us as earlier, we could have turned these monies, we could have been getting better than what the government has put up in the Bank of Ghana. The third tier has been an eye-opener to all of us, because that is a private. And some of us have actually used our monies in the third tier, and we have turned it around. And if you can see the amount of money that has accrued for the third tier pension, you have no idea.
So you do not trust this figure the NPRA has come out with, do you?
Yeah, this figure is there, but what we are saying is that what has amounted to this figure? Is it the amount of monies that have been collected by all the workers under these schemes, or is it for has it been invested very well so that it has increased some amount of investment? We are not privy to all those information. In any case, if these monies are there, wouldn't it be appropriate to make sure that these monies are channeled, as the law says, within 90 days? Within 90 days after the monies have been collected, you have to be given to the schemes so that we can run the schemes and invest in it properly. Come 2015, what is it there that we are going to give to our families? That is not the issue. The issue is that we are not being allowed to operate our schemes.
Stephen, I'm going to have you hold the line and listen briefly to Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, who's been reaching out to you and your other colleagues.
Yes, as you are aware, yesterday we had a very fruitful meeting with the labor unions. We have both put forward some proposals, and then we all agreed that we should all put it on paper, and by 10 o'clock this morning we should be able to exchange those positions, and we have the opportunity to look at them and then towards the final resolution of the matter. But one thing that remains outstanding is still the strike matter, which we are talking on the sidelines to see how this matter is resolved. We have given the workers the opportunity that we as government want to revert to the pre-strike situation where there was no strike, there was no court actions, and so we can negotiate in good faith and in a conducive atmosphere. I think that they've also given us the indication they want to consult with their lawyers and other people, and they will come back. Our position is that once the strike is off, we are also prepared to withdraw still all legal actions, and then we can speak to them and then resolve the matters before the end of the week, hopefully. So for now, we are making some progress, albeit it is a bit slow. But we still regret the actions because that is our main concern now. People are suffering, and we don't need to allow it to